If not, yesterday I told
One
you
color.
to see something about. I asked you to go through that topic. I gave one word. We can search on that word and can find it. What is that? Is there anyone done that? Is there anyone done that? What I
No.
told? At least can tell me what I told. Black Friday. Black Friday. What is the meaning of this Black Friday? Nobody didn't do that. దాని గురించి ఆలోచించలేదా? Black Friday. So whatever. Okay, I'm going to be start the class. Within 1 minute. So you know that this is a Google file system is going to be there. So yesterday we already come across with two or three points. There we saw about what is hierarchical
Then
structure. Hierarchical structure. This one is hierarchical structure. This is a tree structure. Tree structure is known as a hierarchical structure. So how we are going to be arrange the nodes in a tree means we have something basic. We have various types of trees out there, but each and every tree we have a nodes, but the nodes are arranging in a different methodologies, such that how we are going to be organized, which node is going to be a root node, which node is going to be a leaf node, that and all based upon the style of tree we are going to be doing that. So please remember the terminologies and where are the controls messages and where are the data messages are there. We can go through these and we can conclude that how we are going to be transfer the data and how the control is going to be transferred from one server to another server. So everything please be note down. So this one about yesterday we are discussing the second point, the hierarchical structure. The Google provides a familiar file system interface through the it does not implement a standard APS such as Postfix. Files are organized hierarchically in the directions and directories and identify the paths. Yesterday I shown you what is the directories. The general in if you are doing a Java program in Linux operating system, so you need to log into your particular register number. We are going to give you some commands, no? cd create directory rename the directory or remove the directories where we are going to be sorry where we are going to be store the data, that also in Linux operating system why we are especially mentioning here also we are going to be oftenly thorough with the Linux system only. So what uh, I think you may done the programming in Windows operating system, you done the programs in Linux operating system. What you got the difference between both? I think in last year you done some graphics programs, no? So graphics programs you done in I think the Turbo C. So you Java you made done in through Linux. So what you got the difference between those two? Can anyone see that while we are doing programs on Turbo C, what we are every day we have to sit in one system because you need to retrieve your uh, files which you done earlier. You need to sit in the same system, then only you can identify the programs in the particular system. In Linux is not like that, no? So first of all, we need to log in with the server. So through your register number with some IP address. That IP address is known as server IP address. Through server IP address, you are going to be logged into that. You can set any system. You are going to be get your previous files. You are going to be get your previous files. It's not on. We are not going to be sitting in one system. We can may sit in a different systems. Also, you are going to be get uh, different system. Also, you are going to be getting your same files. So how it will be? So in local system in Turbo C, you are going to be do the programs. Your programs are going to be located in the same system hard disk itself. If you are doing with the Linux operating system with the server sharing, that is SSH, server sharing. If you are doing with that, your data files or your program files are going to be stored in the server. So that is a simple how we are going to be get our data in a different systems, not only a particular system. So that is through the path name we can identify. So everything in your root node is going to be aware. The root node is available in your own system or in the server system. So where the files are going to be stored means it is going to be stored in the root system server. So once you are going to be retrieve, how we are going to be? So first we need to request the server to log in. Then we are going to be identify your path. Through that path, we are going to be detect your files. What are the files you are maybe you are doing ls. Have you remember the command ls list? You are going to how many programs you done, everything you can see. For that, you are need not to be sitting every time in one system. You can sit in different systems. You are going to get your files. So, but you need to log into your server ID. So that is the thing we are going to do. Then another one, we suppose the usual operations too. Generally, what we are going to be do with on files. So we are going to be talking about Google file system. If we have a file, what are the operations we can perform on files? Means these are create, delete, open, close, read, write files. We can. Moreover, the GFS Google file system has a snapshot and records append operations. So it is going to be take the snapshot. What is the meaning of snapshot? So simply it's taking a picture and records append operations. The snapshots creates a copy of files and the directories treat as a low cost. Records are appended to allow the multiple clients to append the data with the same file concurrently. So through this taking a pictures of the snapshot, one file concurrently we can have a multiple clients can update. That is we can call append. We can insert the data. Multiple clients can insert the data same time. So that is the technology they are going to be using to do. So they are going to be create GPS has a snapshot and record appending operations. So this is the important term. So yesterday I asked you to go through this. What is the Black Friday? Where we were talking about this, we are talking about the advantages of working with big data. We are talking about some shopping. We have shopping things. So that time I asked you to what is the meaning called Black Friday. This is this simple in our general language we can call in Teluru local people so you know that what is Sunday Bazaar. What is Sunday Bazaar? All the shops are closed. In a road we have number of shops are going to be open. They are going to be selling the goods. The same way here also a Black Friday is a informal name for Black Friday following the Thanksgiving Day in the United States, which is celebrated on the fourth Thursday of November. The day after Thanksgiving has been regarded as the beginning of the United States Christmas shopping season since 1952. Although the terms called Black Friday. It is not becomes widely used until the more recent decades. మనకు ముందు తెలియదు what is this meaning of Black Friday. Nowadays everything in a shopping, no? Everything is online. Nowadays it came to very popular Black Friday. So what is this Black Friday? I think our senior students, some of them done the project on this Black Friday sale, how they are going to be analyzed. There only nothing here we are going to be analyzing. If you have a large number of big data is available, what we are going to be with the big data means we need to analyze this. So this, for example, this year Black Friday we have done some sale. So what type of goods was sold mostly? So next year we need to increase the sales. So how to which age group they are going to be buying the goods, and how they are going to be buy the products based upon the. So here also we have something to be found. What is the these part means? So most of them these type of sales income, the products are going to become with less service times. Less service time. What is this less service times? Why generally I have one question generally. Why the Flipkart have launched offers? The shop having a very high cost and the Flipkart having low cost. Why? How they are going to be select the product? Is that Flipkart is going to be a producer, that is manufacturer? No, he is not a manufacturer. Then what? How is they are going to be get with less cost? So one is based upon usage. The company is providing. Okay, we need to have a large number of products are there. If we decrease the cost of the product, then definitely we are going to be sold all those products. And one more thing is, for example, if I am buying through some maybe shopping mall or whatever it may be, some authorized center, I am going to be buy any one product. What is going to be happen? They are going to be give a 10 years warranty. Is that same 10 years warranty is giving a Flipkart? Not like that. They're going to be give a less. I'm not going to be say that for all the products. What are the products are very less cost? They are going to be that may be out of stock also. They are going to be. Sometimes it is showing only for particular days. Everything. And one more thing is about, for example, if one product is manufactured, it it lifetime of sale, how it will be means. So the first year of the sale will be the original cost what they are going to be provided by the company. Then years goes on, the product cost will be reduced. Simply we can know that if the model, so for example simply we are going to be buy a bike or car, what we have to see that first one. Generally, we have heard the terms. Which model of this bike? Which model of this car? Based upon the years of model, the cost will be different. That is a simple what I have to say. So here also the Black Friday they are going to be sold all the. It's like a Sunday bazaar in USA. So this we have simple story. Once I will send this in practice. So I have one simple picture. This see this. This is about a Black Friday. See how they are going to be buying. So simple. They are going to be give some offer or something. They are going to be attract the customers, and simply they are going to be buying. See that the TVs are buying like a chocolates. So this is once you can have a time, you can go through this Black Friday. You can just simply type in Google. You can get these type of pictures and can have a related. So okay. Then, so what is this architecture? I have asked you to note down the architecture. A GPS, that is a Google File System cluster, contains a single master and multiple chunk servers and accessed by multiple clients. We have one, for example, Google is one server, so one master, and we have multiple servers are there. Is that Google server is going to be in only USA? No, we have lot of places Google server is there. Even if India also in India also we have a Chennai, Mumbai, like that various places are available. So like that we have a multiple servers are there, accessing by the multiple clients also. Is that Google is going to be accessed by a specified people? No, like overall having internet facility, everyone is going to be accessed. There is no such type of restrictions to access. So each of these is typically commodified with a Linux mission running with user level service process. It is easy to run both chunk servers and a client on the same mission as long as mission resources permits and the low reliability caused by running probability Plasky applications. Plasky means, what is the meaning called Plasky? So dropping applications, dropping. The meaning of Plasky means dropping. The application code is accepted. So sometimes how it will get done means sometimes the server mission may be a client mission. So that's finally. Have you come across the definition of this computer network? What is the definition of a network? If you know the definition of network, you can very clearly understand about the both chunk server and client on the same mission. You can have a clear idea about what we will call a network. The starting definition of the first line is one or more computers are interconnected. I heard the definition one or more. Why, if the one system, how it is going to be called a, how it is going to be called a, it is under network. One system, how it is going to be called a, it is in network. If, for example, my system, if I'm connecting through some Google, that is internet, then my system is going to be act as a both client and server. How? For this, we have, for example, in two, if you open two command prompts in your system, shall we transfer the data from one command prompt to another command prompt? Probably, if you are having a lab for CNS and these concepts, definitely you can go through these concepts in lab also. TCP, IP protocols, how it is going to be send the data from one computer to another computer. It's simple. The network is one system also is going to be called a network. One or more computers are interconnected is going to be called a network. So remember the definition of a network. That is. So if we have a like for this we have in detailed explanation in upcoming slides. What is this? How it is going to be client and server in the same system. So each of these typically a commodity of Linux mission running a user level server process. It is easy to run both chunk server and clients on the same mission as long as the mission resources permits and lower reliability caused by running probably Pulaski applications code is acceptable. What is the meaning called this one, please? So I think it is a repeated. Sorry for that. It is a repeated. So now we can see that. So the files are divided into a fixed size chunks. Each chunk is identified by immutable. So please be remember that word is immutable. What is immutable? Immutable and globally unique 64-bit chunk, and we already come across the word immutable. Where immutable wrapper classes. What is immutable? Once we make something as immutable, the programs changes also. Once we are going to be print that immutable variable value is same, it's never changed. Once we are going to be fixed with some file name, it is not going to be changed. If you want to add the data to that, if it is not, we are going to be create another file. We are not going to be changing the file. If you want, we can delete also, but we cannot change it in the. Why we are doing like this means, once we are created, that file will be created in a multiple times. So what is this multiple times? For these multiple times is known as replications. Please be remember the word called replication. In general term, we will call the replica. What is it meaning called replica? Now we will see that what will be in. So Chunk servers stores the chunks on local disk as a Linux file and read or write chunks data specified by chunk handler and byte range. So through the some range, why we are specifying why it is a byte range means we already starting itself why we want to hand in this Google file system means we were talking about there is a two types of files. There are large files and small files. So we need to operate it. We need to perform these operations. We will talk about this. Then for reliability, each chunk is this is the word I already said that replicated on multiple chunk servers. Multiple chunk servers. By default, we store three replicas. These is a wonderful concept. Is having in every server. Generally, every server having a multiple copies of data. I think have you come across the operating system concept? I think these S1 is a server and S2, S3 are the replicas. Once we are going to be store the data in server 1, once the data creation is completed, the data is going to be shared to server 2 and server 3. There server 2 and server 3 is going to be called replicas. So why we are maintaining again replicas means so again, the starting of the class, this Google file system, we were talked about why we want to build a Google file system. We were talking about no fault tolerance. If the system fails, no fault tolerance. What is if something I am storing in my system? If my system is fault, I am going to be lost my data. That's why I am preferring a Google to store all the data in Google. If things are going to be like that, once we can think somewhere we are going to be stored, that also is a server, that is also a one system, that is also a one system. If it is like this, if it is like this, if the Google gods failure, what is going to be? Can anyone think that? Google failures, that is for example one in we can think over that. We already said that we have a Linux. We are keeping all the Linux files in one server. If the server is going to be crash, what is going to be happen? Generally, in our college, generally colleges where they are maintaining servers now. They don't keep any replicas. But the Google, they are going to be keep replica. If any one server is going to be missed, they are going to be get back all the data from the other servers. Whatever the thing you are going to be create or we are going to be saved on the Google, that is going to be a 3 copies. It is going to be storing 3 times. So again, the last line is replicas levels for the different regions of file namespace. I think you heard the word. What is that? In Singapore or somewhere, the Google Office files. On particular times, I think you are in the 10th or ninth standard some. I think so. It is 2000, 2000 not in our 10th. They are very I think so. In 2004 or 5, I think so. So Google Office was fired, and the data was lost. Everyone is going to be struck about the service. So they have a different servers in a different place, and they are going to be rectify all those data. Even if, for example, all the India data is going to be stored in USA, all the USA data is going to be stored in India. So that is a replicas. Replicas means once the data is going to be created on one server, that server once the creation is over. The creation is simple means what is meaning called file. We can perform some operations on file. Once the file operations is completed, the data is going to be stored in the particular server. One is automatically it is uh, transferred to the server 2 and server 3 in order to for the safe side. So this is a very much interesting on these topics. So still the Google is have very much popular means because of this one. So we have multiple copies. Even if we lost the data in one server, immediately you can get. Is that anytime Google service is going to be stopped? Have you observed? From the date you are going to be start using the Google, have you got any problem with the Google? So I lost my data in the Google. I lost my data in the Google. I sent some mail. Maybe if you perform the task or something is clearly no problem at all. If something happened, have you complained anywhere? So I stored something in Google. It was lost. No, not like that. So it has a replica concept. It's always giving data back always. So the master maintains all the file system metadata. Again, the concept of metadata. What is metadata? If we come across this metadata in data mining, what is the metadata? Data about the data. It includes the namespace and access control information mapping from the files to chunks. The current locations of chunks, and also it gives where there is current location of particular file. And it is also control system-wide activities such as chunk lease management. What is this lease management? What is this lease management? What is this lease management? It is asking now. Have you when you are something searching on Google, it will provide Office 365 with the cost of, for example, 300 something 250 per month or 250 235 rupees per year. We are going to be offer something. I think in our cloud computing also mainly what is the platform as a service and what are the services are providing. What is the services? Once you can buy, it's going to be lease. No? The lease means, so for example, you are taking a land or shop for lease. What is the meaning? In a particular time, we can use that shop in our home. The same way, here also we are going to be buy a domain. Domain means something placed on cloud. We are going to be buy. So that is activities we have in lease management also. And the garbage collections of our fund strengths means, so something we are going to be undertaking these chunks and we are going to be maintaining, monitoring also. And chunk migrations between the chunk servers. So how to connectivity going to be happen between the chunk servers? Because in the diagram itself we can saw at the downside we have two chunk servers and so on we have dots. Everything is going to be connected with the Linux database. In downside we have circuits. So that is it. So each master periodically communicates with each chunk servers in a heartbeat message. What is a heartbeat message? Just giving a name is a heartbeat message. Heartbeat means every second every time it is going to be communicate with each other service. So why it is going to be, for example, the client is going to be search for one data. It may be present in server 1, it may be present in server 2, or any others also. So by that, each and every server has to communicate each and every one. So in the hierarchical level, it has to, at last we need to find the data. It is going to be search often. So that's when it gives a message like a heartbeat. Heartbeat message means it's continuous. Continuous. For that only they mentioned the name as heart. So this is one simple write control data flow. We already know that the read and write operations we can perform. So what's the write control, how it is going to be happening in data. So the client is going to be, step one, see that the client is going to be asked for a master, step one. Then step two, it is going to be replied, and it is going to be produced. Something is going to be write the data. See that two controls are there. We have one is a small line is about control and big line is about. The first one is client is requesting for to the master to something write. So is okay, something is message thing. And the third is going to be second creating the data. Once the data is created in a replica A, okay, it is also going to be sent to another replica, A replica, something. So once we are going to be create, for example, this is going to be a memory. Once the client is going to be create data on the memory, something write on the memory, the data is automatically going to be transferred to another replica source. So see that it is going to be transferred. So he is going to be get the messages. Some controls is going to be transferred the primary replica. Once the part is going to be send or writing data to one replica only. Once this is going to be done, automatically the data is going to be transferred to another replica. See that tick lines are going to be called a data lines. Maybe some controls is going to be happen, but the data is going to be transferred to one replica to another replica. This is the concept. So for example, the client again, for example, this is the client and master means those who are creating the data. Again, there is a master is getting access to create. Then once is getting access to read or write operations on this. Here we are going to be talking about write. So something is going to be write on this replica. Once is going to be write on one server only. That is one replica. The replica A is going to be there. Then it is going to be stored in a primary replica, another replica. It is going to be stored in another replica, primary. That is secondary replica. So why we are going to be stored our data in multiple places means if any one replica, any one server is going to be crash, then definitely it is going to be get the information from the another server. So that is a simple concept of it. Then we will continue with this architecture. This GPS client code linked with each application implements the file system APIs, what is application program interface, and to communicate with the master and chunk servers to read and write data on behalf of the application. So up to now we are going to be talking about file. So how the file, the data is going to be created means. So for example, if you have a mobile, you can directly send the data to another client. In between, we need some applications. For example, WhatsApp we have. So we need WhatsApp is there. We are going to be send the message to one person to another. So that one we need some APIs to communicate the master servers and read and write application on behalf of applications. So through the applications only we can perform. Client interacts with the master for metadata operations, but all data bearing communication goes directly to the chunk servers. We need not provide any APIs in between. Therefore, we need not hook into the Linux node layer. Neither the client nor chunk servers catches file data. So up to now we are going to be talking about the data is going to be created, how to how the data is going to be created, how the data is going to be stored on the Google. So in the another part we need to see about how if the once the client is requesting for the data for viewing or something, so how the data is going to be stored. Have you heard the concept of virtual? Have you heard the word virtual? What is the meaning called virtual? Can anyone? What is the meaning called virtual? So we heard. I will give some more words related. Uh, Virtual memory, where
Not
we have
physically not existent, sir.
not existing. So that is the same exact correct word. It is not a physically existing. For example, if you are something searching with the Google, once the Google something google.com, we are searching something. So all those Google's virtual path is going to be sent to your system. Virtual path. It is not physically present. It is present. That's it. It is not physically present. So if it is like this, what is going to be happen? Our system that time once the virtual service is going to be sent to your system is going to be act as a client and server. That is the best thing what we discussed. I told you know later class we will discuss about the one system how it is going to be called a client and server. Once the virtual path is going to be established in between server and your system, client and server simply we can call it not only server, client and server, we have one virtual path is established. Automatically, the system is going to be called as a client and server. The same system is going to be called. So everything is data is going to be come from the virtual. So that's why simply we can see that for searching data and what is downloading data, there is a two difference of searching data and downloading data. What is the difference? For searching data, we don't need any physical storage. For downloading data, we need some physical storage to download it. So that is a simple difference. Searching and see that client caches offer little benefits in the most applications streamed through the huge files are having the working sets too large to be cached. Not having the simple client and overall system eliminates the cache coherence issues. Client do not cache the metadata, however, do cache the metadata, however. The chunk servers need not cache the file data because the chunks are stored as local files. And so Linux buffer cache already keeps frequently accessed data in memory. See that buffer, what is again the meaning called buffer? Buffer means what? It is a temporary storage area. So what is temporary storage area? Nothing but where we have a virtual path. The data is going to be already, the data path is already established in your server to your client system. Once the data is going to be stored in buffer. If it is stored, it is a temporary we can access by what is that frequently accessed data is going to be in memory. Frequently accessed data is going to be in memory. So what are the data is going to be frequently accessed? That data is going to be stored temporarily. So simply you can delete something files in temporary files in your system now. What is going to be? What is the meaning of that? For example, what is the meaning called computer cleaning? Putting surf and cleaning the computer, putting it into a washing machine. Computer cleaning means so removing temporary files, disk cleaning, disk fragmentations. Have you heard the words these and all? These are going to be released the buffering concept. Once the buffer is cleared, your system is going to be fast. You can have doubt, you can just simply what is computer cleaning. You can simply do it and go through that. You make your computer is fast. So we have all those things. We have I already told that we have a single master and multiple chunks and multiple clients. What is single master? Having a single master is vastly simplifies our design to enable the master to make a sophisticated chunks placement application and replication decision using the global approach. So the server means the only one master is there. That means that is only, for example, if I am going to be create data, I need to get an access from the Google. So who is going to be given access means the master is going to be given access. Once, then what is the duty of the master means he can give in where you need to store the data, in which replica you need to store the data. We have a authentication to provide the access to store the data in a particular replication. Then, however, we must minimize its involvement in read and write. Again, we already talked about once we have a file, what we can do on the files means we can do read and write so that it does not become a bottleneck. What is the meaning called bottleneck? What is the meaning called bottleneck? What is the meaning called bottleneck? So never stop. So what is bottleneck? For example, simple in general meaning, we have a bottle. So what will be the neck of the bottle? Very less, very small. Even though down of the bottle is very big, the neck of the bottle is very small. Please mute. Please mute. Someone is unmuted. Number 36. Number 36. Please mute yourself. So it's not going to be simply mean it is not going to be get congested. Congested it is not going to be. So next one is about. So clients never read and write the file data through the master. Instead of client ask the master which servers should contact. So directly the client cannot be write something. They need to get the authentications from the server. Then only here the server is master. You can get the authentication from the master. Then only you can access. Then we have what is about chunk size. Chunk size is one of the key design parameter. We have chosen 64 MB, which is most larger typical file system block size. So the chunk size is 64 MB. They are going to use. Each chunk replica is stored as a plain Linux file. One chunk server, and it is extended only as needed. So why it is extended means once it is, if the size of the file is need more, then the time only then it is going to be extended. Not more than that, it is not going to be extended. So lazy space allocation avoid the wasting of space due to the internal fragmentation. So in operating system, we have studied about this internal and external fragmentation, segmentation, where it will come, in which concept it will come, this fragmentation. Yesterday also I gave one simple introduction to the concept. The hierarchy is going to be checked with directories. Directories where it is going to be stored. It is going to be stored like a stack operations. In operating system, it is going to be called some word I said. It is not going to be a stack. It is going to be pages. In the pages concept, we were dealing about this fragmentation, this internal fragmentation and external fragmentation. So simple how it is means. In programming concept, we can talk, and the file concept also we can talk. So simply how it will be. For example, in array we are going to be declare 100, a of 100. The size of array is 100, but we are not going to be use the 100 size. We are just simply using a, for example, a 90 values we are going to use. What about remaining 10? The memory is allocated, but the memory is not going to be used. So that is the excess memory. So we need to remove that memory. For that only we have a concept of dynamic memory allocation. So then how it will be in the normal, for example, you created one file on your system. So you stored the data, all those data is storing all those things. So for example, once you can delete the data, what is going to be happen? Once you delete the data, what is going to be happen? Once you deleted data, what is going to be? It is simple delete. I am not going to be asking about shift delete, simple delete. The delete operation is going to be happen. The data is going to be deleted, that is shifted to the recycle. Okay, now we can check the overall data. It is going to be somewhat less, but it is not exactly less. How much you delete? How? Because why means once the data in recycling bin, definitely it has a restore concept of original place. Restoring concept of original place. If it is like that, definitely it needs something address, something link between the deleted place to recycling. So these are things. That's only once we have a large number of files in the recycling bin also. This is one of the removing, deleting the recycling bin is also one of the concept of computer maintenance. So in general also we can go to computer, my computer, and right click. We have properties. You can go to that fragmentation. You can type, or else everyone using I think maximum Windows only. Just simply type fragmentation. So once you before fragmentation, we have, for example, how it will be means we have total lines will be there. In between we have a red color lines will be. Once you've done the fragmentation clearly, the total red lines will become, that is a free memory is come to one place and the total data is going to be. I think you please be remember the concept of operating system, this internal and external fragmentation. You can know this concept of. So simple nothing but we are freeing the memory. And into file to file మధ్యలో ఉన్న data ని free చేసేసి last తీసుకొస్తాం. So once you can go to refer the concept of file paging concept, you can clearly understand that internal and external. So if the largest chunks are there, we have several advantages of these chunks. We will discuss later what are the advantage of these chunks. So next one is about metadata. We already know that what is a metadata, data about data. Then simply I mentioned here. We have a major three types of metadata, files and chunks and namespace. The mapping files to chunks and locations of each chunks and replicas. All the metadata is kept at the master's memory, and first two types of namespace and the file to chunks mapping are also kept to precedent by persistence by logging the mountation. What is the mountation? In a hierarchical model, we have a root is going to be called a mount. The operation logs stored on the master's local disk and replicated on remote machines. The remote machines is nothing but a client machines. So why it is called remote means? So we can access by anywhere in any device. Remotely we can access. Simply we have a TV remote. Is that a TV remote is nowadays is to sit in front of TV and we have to use? No, we can sit on the side and we can distance maybe you can extend. So before that we have infrared concept. Now it is infrared is not there. We can access that. So using the log allows to update the master state simply, reliable and without risking inconsistency of event master crash. So this is a advantage of creating a replicas. Without risking of inconsistency in the event of master crash. Even the master is going to be crashed, we don't get any inconvenience on the data. The master does not store the chunk location information consistently. Instead of asking each chunk server about its chunks at master startup, and however, whenever a chunk server joins in the cluster. So once that is already told, there is a master beat message is going to be transferred in between the chunk servers. The chunk servers is oftenly communicate one and each other, while the data need to be fetched. So one to another. So in memory, in memory data structure, how the data structure is going to be in memory. So since the metadata is stored in memory, master operations are fast. Furthermore, it is easy to efficient for the master to periodically scan through its entire state in the background. So this replication process is going to be happening in entire. It is not going to be a part of any client and servers. It is going to be a part entirely background is going to be happening. Thus, the periodic scanning is used to implement the chunks, garbages, and the re-replications in the presence of chunk servers failures. And the chunk migration balance load the disk space usages across the chunk servers. So, the concept of replication only. So, if one replication is failed, we are going to be get the data from the other replication, other replica also. So these are the advantages. What are the things we were discussing? Everything is going to be related here. So chunk size is a key. We already know that 64 MB is going to be larger. Why it is going to be means each chunk is a replica is stored as a plain operating system text that is extended to only needed. Then advantages means we have mainly three advantages. First one is it reduces the client's needs interacts with the master, and the second one is about a large chunks. We already know that this is the advantage of this Google file system, and the third one is about reduce the size of the metadata. So we are why we want to reduce the size of the metadata data about the data. We have to reduce the size. So whatever we will continue with these advantages in the next class. So this is the last one. Once the advantages finish, the Google file system is going to be complete. Tomorrow we will start with Hadoop distributed system. Tomorrow we will start. Once again, we will conclude these advantages of these chunk sizes. So far, any doubts we have? So far, any doubts? If you have any doubts, you can please tell me.
Number 80, ఎవరు? Number 80.
Sirisha sir.
లేట్ గా జాయిన్ అయ్యారా ఏంటమ్మా? 9:30 తర్వాత జాయిన్ అయ్యారా?